This is Howard the Humongous. Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. The world is a good deal crazier than you think it is. There is a guy called the Mr. Marlborough running around Africa wreaking havoc. And though it seems that he's just the head of a team of tiny little raiders, well, they're not tiny, it's a tiny team, because it seems that they are such a small group, it doesn't seem they could be doing anything monumental that we should be paying attention to on our news. Well, guess what? We should be paying attention to it in our news because it involves taking over an entire continent, a little continent called Africa. The Marlborough man, Mr. Marlborough, got his name because he grew up in militant Islam. He saw what was happening in Afghanistan. He felt it was unjust. He went to Afghanistan and fought, and he's been a member of Al-Qaeda, loosely affiliated with Al-Qaeda ever since. He came back to the north of Africa and ran a little group that a few weeks ago took over 600 hostages, 600 foreign hostages, and approximately 45 foreign hostages and 600 Algerians, okay? He took them all prisoner. You probably saw it. It was in a gas plant in Algeria. It made a bit of a fuss for a while. But it seemed like he was just one isolated little bandit. I mean, this is a guy who got his start. How did he come to be known as Mr. Marlborough? He got his start smuggling cigarettes. He got his start taking captives, kidnapping people, going for ransom. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Until you realize that this guy is a Muslim. And to be a good Muslim, to be just and proper and pure, you have to follow every single footstep of Muhammad. You have to do everything Muhammad did. Well, Muhammad was known to the people of Mecca as a highway robber, as a petty thief, as a man who raided camel caravans. So it is holy to conduct raids. It is holy to take people captive and go for ransom. It is holy to make small-scale attacks that rouse terror. All of this is in the Islamic tradition, and it's not limited to Mr. Marlborough, not by any stretch of the imagination. In Nigeria, to the west, there is Boko Haram, which in one attack alone in the city of Kano killed 165 people, which is bleeding the north of Nigeria dry. Its commerce is down to half of what it formerly was. And on the other side of Africa, on the east, you have Al-Shabaab, who actually took over Somalia for a while and are giving the Kenyans a very hard time. Now, if I had a map, you would see that this is approximately 2,000 miles worth of territory, the entire top of Africa. And there are three groups, all with the same kind of ideology, that are working to take over. And they're working to go south. Why? Because a guy named Ali Mazrui is a Muslim population demographer. And Ali Mazrui says that ever since Muhammad sent a couple of his disciples to Ethiopia to keep them safe from the people of Mecca, this is almost 1,400 years ago, Islam has been in the process of taking over Africa. It owns half today, says Ali Mazrui. It will own the other half tomorrow. Welcome to the world of the weird ways in which other people see things.